Hey, everybody.
Hey, good
One
afternoon,
already.
good evening.
One.
Mark's already started the count.
Snort count. Well, I don't think Darth Haster is here, so I don't know if he has the snort meter turned on. At least I haven't seen him yet, so who knows? How are you boys doing?
Doing okay.
Doing good.
Good.
Doing good.
How are you, sweetheart?
I'm fine. Yeah, it is Sunday. It's like,
I know, it's so weird. What the heck day is this? Sunday. I'm with Dave Bob. We'll just sing our way through it.
I'm muting my mic because I can't sing.
Oh, shoot.
Well, we know that's a lie, Mark.
Mm-hmm. He's going.
We won't talk about that. That's a different show.
Yeah, different show entirely, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Should we say hello to everyone, honey, before we get started?
Yes, we should. Yeah, I'm just scrolling back up because the chat just went bleh on me. So, sorry about that, guys. A starry-eyed girl was here, but then gone. She had to catch up on the episode. So, she's dropped a like and says, have fun.
Thank you, honey.
So, okay. We'll have fun. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, sister. Mark the Infinitely Tired is here. Yeah, he's right down there.
Hey.
Let's see who else is here. Colin P. Smith, good afternoon and good evening, because technically it's evening in the UK. Cardinal Sin is here. Lord Thought.
It is indeed.
What time is it there?
Welcome, guys. It's just gone 8 o'clock.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah, it's evening. That counts.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Dee Myers is here. The Jester of Sin. Chris Persia. Who else is here, hun?
Let me check. We've got Danny Boy. Good evening, honey. Good to see you. Dave Bob. Hey, Dave
Who's
Bob.
over there?
Where?
Where's Dave Bob?
Hi, Mark. We've got Justice for Death. Welcome, sweetheart. Ren Zero. Good to see you. DJ B2. Welcome, my love. Jim the Viking. Hey, good to see you. SRB. Louise. Hello, sweetheart. We've got
Hi,
Low
Louise.
Spec Linux Laptop. Welcome, sweetheart. Good to see you as always. Dr. Herky Monkey. Welcome. Hey, guys. Generalissimo Jefe. Hello, Jeff.
Oh, Generalissimo Jefe's across the hall. Cool.
And we've got Pat S. Welcome, guys. And the Womprats. Welcome. Good to see you. Welcome, everyone. Oh, and Derek. Good evening.
Did Derek just slide in?
He did, and so did the Clown World Review. Hey there. Welcome, guys.
Clown World Review. Oh, my gosh.
And Pat S says, Sammy, do you need a Coke or a coffee, honey?
I've got caffeinated water right here. I'm ready to go.
Nailed it. And Mark Lasaf, welcome. Good to see you, sweetheart.
God, how are you? Wow, that's an oldie but a goodie. Not that you are, Mark.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys for joining us. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, boys, for joining us on the panel, too. We love having you guys here on Sunday. Thank you so much.
Thank you
We
for
do.
being here.
Thank you, guys. What did you guys think of episode 4?
Well,
I think Sammy liked it.
I liked it, but I'm gonna let Dave Bob have the first shot at this one.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I like the episode. It had a lot of exposition in it. You kind of finding out a lot more what the time period is. Just right after the when everybody came back. About it's like a month later or something like that after Endgame. So it definitely got to where you're understanding a little bit more about it, and Wanda's grip on reality is pretty tenuous at best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Mark?
I loved this episode.
You say what?
Come on, Mark. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Purple. I'm sorry. I stepped on you. Go ahead. Go.
No, you're the guest. We can pick up after.
Okay.
All right, then.
I enjoyed the. What? Here we go again. Sorry. Go ahead, Purple. I'm sorry. I'm shutting up. Sorry.
I got some tape on my mouth.
Come on, Mark, please. I keep interrupting. No. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Okay, it's okay.
I'm gonna drink.
It was a really interesting episode. I mean, it was more like a bridge episode. Like Dave Bob said, you found out a lot, and some of my theories have been completely shut down, but I'm holding on to one of them still. And Wanda does her grip on reality. It's just getting weirder and weirder and weirder, and where does it go from here is what the big question is. And her views of the outside world too, of everybody coming in, were definitely shown in this one with finding out about the beekeeper and all that. That was really interesting as well.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know what to think. This, like I said, I've said it since it started. This show is giving the Mandalorian a run for its money, if not a better show than the Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
I'd agree with that. Yeah, so, I'm loving this show so far, and this was probably, I know we broke away from the formula that the previous 3 episodes have set up, but I think we needed that kind of 4-4 break just to kind of catch everybody up with what's going around on outside of this kind of little dome that Wanda has obviously built now. And we know from the episode that it is her in control. You know, this is her desperately trying to keep this reality that she's built going. She doesn't want, as Mark and Dave Bob said, she doesn't want people interfering. She doesn't want any outside, influence going on. She just wants this perfect little town and this perfect life that she thinks not that she should have had, but she would have probably liked to have had deep down.
Yeah, and God help anybody that makes anything from the real world intrude upon her.
Yeah,
and
like Monica.
And I begin to wonder if Vision is actually real too now.
I don't know.
Vision's dead.
With that gray, she remembered him dead, so he's dead.
Yes.
Yeah. He went gray, and that was like creepy.
That was a really cool scene. I love that. And they didn't linger on it too soon. It was just there and then gone.
Yeah.
I thought that was really effective.
They nailed it.
But how cool was it to see kind of like Kat Dennings was back? Gentleman.
I love Darcy.
Agent Wu.
Darcy made that episode. Can I get a cup of coffee, please?
We did get a coffee. I think.
And where
did get her coffee.
Where did they find all the vintage TVs, and why did they necessarily have to find the vintage TVs as well? I mean,
who knows? It's in low def.
I mean, it was just, that was a very weird thing that they brought into it. I liked it, but I mean, that was a lot of trouble to have each TV keeping up with each generation as they went through, or each episode of the generation that they went through, which was really weird. So hopefully, I mean, even though it's a small part of it, that Easter egg, maybe that'll get explained as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope so.
I think also this episode really highlighted what a good character Monica Rambeau is, and the more I see her and the lady that played her, the more I wish that she had actually been Captain Marvel, and that's the character that we had in the MCU. Because she's charismatic, she is capable, she's so much more fun than Brie Larson.
She's way more fun.
She's on level with Storm if they did, as far as the comic book Storm goes. That character and Storm have a lot in relationship with being strong leaders. And I hope they touched on that.
I have a question about Monica Rambeau, though. And I have to pose it to you guys because you guys know more about the comic books than I do. So Monica ends up being Miss Marvel.
Captain
Am I right?
Captain
Marvel.
Oh, Captain.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm getting on the right pages here.
Captain Marvel before Carol Danvers became Captain Marvel. So she technically should have had the mantle before Brie Larson if they were going, chronologically.
Right. Okay.
Her Captain Marvel's a little bit different than the actual Marvel that was the original Captain Marvel.
That's what I was thinking of, was Marvel.
Yes. Marvel.
Her power is based on light energy is what it is. And it's been a minute since I've read any of the comics with her in it, but she's a different type of Captain Marvel than the other ones are.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you think that that's how she managed to get through Wanda's kind of force field, force field in quotes, because one of her powers is the ability to go through barriers, isn't it? She can.
She can
breach
any.
I remember correctly.
If I'm not mistaken, she can breach any barrier that has anything to do with photons or light in general.
Mm-hmm.
But Dave Bob can back me up on that one because my memory is kind of sketchy on some Avengers. If this was completely X-Men, I could talk all day long, but Avengers is hit and miss sometimes with me.
Gotcha.
Same. Yeah.
But I'm kind of the same. So.
Well,
but I even loved that Sorry, Dave Bob. Carry on.
I was just going to say, originally Carol Danvers was Ms. Marvel. That's where she started at.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of, that's her beginning actually, and somewhere along the way, Rogue stole her powers permanently.
Yep, and that's what everybody's waiting on too.
Come on, you've got the X-Men back. Come on, use them, please.
Yeah, use them properly.
Yeah, get rid of Brie.
In the comics, Monica is intangibly. Okay. So so her powers are kind of similar to Vision's.
Yeah.
Is what Chris is saying.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just wondering, is that kind of latent ability that she's got? So that's how she managed to get sucked through? I don't think it is, because later on in the episode, we see the guy that becomes the beekeeper just kind of pushes his way through the force field. So I don't think she has any latent ability as like Captain Marvel.
I think anybody could actually go.
But it would have been a kind of interesting.
Afraid to.
Did they ever show the? Did they ever show the police car leaving? Did it ever turn around and leave, or did it go through the energy field?
It just disappeared.
It just disappeared,
and nobody ever spoke about it either, which was kind of odd.
I thought they did a U-turn and left, but I could be wrong.
I seem to remember.
But I did notice. Yeah. I did notice that when she took the little drone out of the back of the car.
They were from East End, not West End.
But they've answered a little bit with everything that we've seen so far, but where are they going to take it from this point on, and how's it going to tie into the rest of the MCU as well, with if she completely loses her mind? Because I think it's bound to happen. It's going to happen.
Well, that's how it happens. Yeah, I was going to say that's how it happens anyway with the House of M, right?
The House of M is she completely loses it, and
right.
That's how she resets all the mutants.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, she gets rid of the X mutant of the mutant gene in 90-something% of the population.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's a game changer.
She completely shuts down the X gene and everything. There are very few mutants left after the House of M.
Oh my God!
If I recall correctly, I think Magneto was he one of them, or was he depowered, or was he just his powers limited?
I
can't remember.
I can't remember. Same. I wasn't a big fan of the House of M. I've got to admit, as an overarching story, I thought it went on for way too long.
Oh, really? It was too much.
It went on for about a year, if I remember correctly. But it was like a company-wide story that just kept on going.
Gotcha.
Jamalissimo Hiffy says, if Monica was Captain Marvel before Carol Danvers, then how is she still around for the blip? But in the comics, she was. But in the MCU, it looks like she was never actually Captain Marvel.
Yeah, the MCU is not following the comics.
Danvers.
And she may not. I'm sorry.
No, it's just it gets confusing because I'm getting the comic book knowledge from you guys, but the MCU is telling a little bit of a different story, obviously.
It is.
Because Monica Rambeau, if I remember, and I didn't see the film, this is just what I heard. I refused to watch it, but it was a child during Captain Marvel, right?
That's
I don't know.
Okay.
Captain Marvel.
As far as I'm aware, like I said, I think many of us have watched Captain Marvel, but
it's just what I remember
hearing. WandaVision anyway. She's here now, and she's a much more interesting character than what we could have had.
Yeah, much more interesting.
But I did pick up on the.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I was just going to say, technically, Captain Marvel supposedly took place back in the 80s or the 90s. So, this is like 20 years later. So she can be a very, Monica Rambeau. If she was a child back then, she's grown up now.
Right.
Yeah, because a friend of mine, we were talking about this last night. He read somewhere that this is 3 years after the snap or after everybody vanished.
Okay.
And it was mentioned in the episode. It's 5
years.
Okay. And it was mentioned in the episode because she was panicking. If you listen,
where'd he go?
Talking in the hospital, she's panicking wondering where her mom is.
Yeah. Yeah. So this happened shortly after the second snap, and everybody came back.
Right.
This is within a month, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Within a month of Endgame?
Yeah, after everybody came back.
After everybody came back, okay.
Yeah, because she was off for on leave for like a month or something, getting her head back together. Monica was, and then they put her back to work. They pretty much told her she wouldn't be able to do anything off planet. She had to stay on planet, and she was a little pissed.
But, she was a little peeved about that part.
Yeah.
She went ahead and took the assignment.
Yeah.
And how was Wu not being affected by what was going on? He could see everything that she could too.
Yeah.
Yes. I just say a huge thank you to Cardinal Sin for the $2 super chat. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Hey, all the Valkyries, my first super chat to the channel. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you so much, Cardinal Sin. We appreciate it. That's so sweet. Oh, and Purple Valkyrie disappeared. There she is. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm having connection issues. So I'm going to try and turn the camera off and see if that helps.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Hardwired to England for.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, Colin P. Smith says, didn't the director of Sword say it was 3 weeks since they all returned?
Mm-hmm.
So about a month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
But it was great to see them all kind of rematerialize, because I think that's the first time we've seen it kind of en masse. Everyone coming back from the blip at the same time.
Oh yeah.
And everybody running around in that hospital, bumping into each other, looking for, I got to call my wife and this, and knocking people over. It was chaos.
It was absolute chaos. It was crazy. I was just like, oh my God. So what? Because just watching her rematerialize, I thought to myself, this is after the blip. This is the second snap when everybody comes back.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. And it was interesting that whoever did get snapped and, dematerialized had no recollection of it. So for them, no time at all has passed.
Nope.
Whereas obviously in the real world, they've lost 5 years. 5 years have gone past. I mean, we knew this from Endgame as well, obviously, when Ant-Man came back. But it was kind of cool that they picked back up on it.
Well, it happened also in Spider-Man Far From Home. When they all came back and everybody had already graduated except for the people that had been snapped out of existence.
Yeah,
right.
So this all falls in with that as well. So you got to figure that one into it as well.
And Generalissimo's got a good one. That one.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it just me, or did anyone else get the weird, sinister vibes from the director of Sword? He reminded me too much of Robert Redford as Secretary Pierce from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, so this character is brand new. I did check to see if he'd been brought up before in any of the films or any of the TV series, but he hasn't. So this is his first introduction to this character.
Okay.
Yeah, I had never remembered seeing him in anything before.
I was trying to place him too. I'm like, no, he doesn't look familiar. I'm like, do I need to go back and watch all the MCU again?
Marvel.
I liked him. I thought he was a good character. Yeah. That's what I was thinking, was he like a background character, or was he like lower down in the ranks, or have we seen him before? But I couldn't find anything about him, which was kind of cool. I did notice though something very odd, which may or may not be kind of something to keep in the back of our minds. As he was walking her through the aircraft hangar, they were talking about space exploration, and she was saying, what's the pilots like, and he said that volunteers completely dropped off, and in the background they're building this shuttle, so maybe a nod towards Fantastic Four, perhaps.
That's what that was about. I've been racking my brain trying to figure out where I'd seen stuff like that before. So it is Fantastic Four. Possibly.
I didn't see any insignias or anything, but that just might be, because we do know there is a Fantastic Four film coming. We're just not sure when. Probably the end of the year, maybe. Yeah.
God, I hope it's better than what came before.
All of them. We spoke about this on Friday, didn't we, with Clobbering Times?
Yeah.
So there's never been a good Fantastic Four film.
It's sad when
that would be kind of cool if that was just.
Sorry,
got a lag, guys. Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, I was gonna let Purple finish. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on her again. I'm sad, but it's sad when the Roger Corman Fantastic Four from the early '90s is probably gonna be the better one out of all of them that have been out.
Yeah, that was a hoot. One that was never supposed to be shown.
Yep.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that was never released.
Yeah,
or something. And Fantastic Four won't be for a couple of years, I think. I think that's later in Phase 4.
Most likely. And Connelson says, does this mean we may see Silver Surfer and Galactus soon? I'd like to see them, certainly. I love Silver Surfer as a character, but whether or not he'd be brought in with Fantastic Four, or whether he'd be a character that would be introduced with Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm not too sure.
Galactus? Or Galactus?
Silver Surfer.
Galactus and Silver Surfer.
Yeah, he was Galactus' herald.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
he
that's
would be
right.
Decent,
okay.
He would be a decent replacement for to take the place of the Thor standalone movies, even though he should have been in Phase 1 and 2 of the MCU, considering that he was a major player in the Infinity Gauntlet. I mean, he was a major player in it.
They really missed a beat not having him in the Infinity War. Because I read it.
And Adam Warlock as well. I mean, Adam Warlock was the main cause of he and Thanos were the two main causes. So, they dropped the ball on that one.
Adam Warlock was even hinted at the end of Guardians 2.
Yeah.
So it's a character that they should have been, introduced, or at least, so whether or not we'll see him in the third film, that would be interesting. And a big hello to Echo Base Network.
Hey guys, how are ya?
Hey guys, they had a great show last night. Well done, guys.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the Echo Base hanging out. Cool. Do you think they're gonna move Adam Warlock into Doctor Strange?
I just forgot.
Maybe
they're gonna have to do something. the cosmic aspect of it, because the Eternals are coming and different things. So, they're going to have to get involved with the cosmic aspect of the Marvel Universe.
Okay. So I think...
Yeah, I can't see him being connected with Doctor Strange, because I think Doctor Strange is going to be alternate realities rather than the extraterrestrial. So I think he's still going to be connected. If they do bring him in, it's still going to be Guardians.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just trying to get a grip on it all because it's so much information for me to take in. I'm just like, all I read was the Infinity Gauntlet. And I'm still getting past the fact that they really could have. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I realized they could have done so much more with that film, or those two films. Mark has disappeared. Uh-oh.
He's buffering. It's okay.
Oh.
We'll get him back in a moment.
Okay. But if they're hinting just slightly at Fantastic Four with just that little bitty clip, that would be interesting.
There's going to be a lot of interesting things coming to Disney Plus with the Marvel aspect of it. I have a feeling over the next year or so.
Yeah.
I've got to admit, with WandaVision, they've really kind of started strong with it. I know people were they thought it was going to be a silly kind of, almost, not very, very light-hearted show, because the way it was, the way we saw it, it was like a sitcom. They're going through the different decades, and it's turned out to be so much deeper and more complex than we realised.
Yep. There he is.
Mark.
There's Mark.
Everything just went haywire all of a sudden. I'm sorry about that.
Shit happened.
Okay, honey.
I think I was having a moment like Purple was just a second ago. I lost everything, and then I had to come back. I had to go out, come back in.
Whoops.
Yep.
I think StreamYards is acting up today.
I think so.
I think what happened was Thanos snapped and Mark disappeared.
Right. Thanos did it again.
You can only get so lucky, but that's not lucky enough. Oh, goodness.
Ren Zero says WandaVision is smashing it with the critics. I haven't read any critiques of it, to be honest, except for what we're talking about.
Honestly, it's a lot better show than I thought it was going to be.
Me too.
When I first saw the commercials and everything, I was thinking it was going to be just some kind of campy little, show. But oh man, it has totally proved me wrong.
Oh, it's far, I agree. It's far from camp as you can get. It's a movie without a movie. That's what that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what Justin just said. This show really feels like it's missing a film before it, like almost like we should have seen Black Widow first. I think, Black Widow should have been out years ago.
That should have come out after Iron Man 2, right?
Yeah. To fit it into the the overarching story. But I think we were saying even the Eternal should have been out by now, because that should have been in December, I think, of last year. And obviously everything's just been pushed back because of what's going on.
That which shall not be named.
Yes.
Got Mark to snort.
Oh, goodness. I've been waiting to do
Somebody
that for a while. The poles have shifted. The world is collapsing. Oh, no. Mark and Sammy snorted at the same time. But I found... Now to get back on track, I actually kind of like it the way it's going, considering if this leads directly into Doctor Strange 2, it might set up something a little bit different than they originally planned, and we could get a change in some of the scripts in the movies if they haven't directly started filming it, and make it even a little bit more reality warping than it already is.
Yeah, I love it when Monica, after she hit the ground, she said, "It's all Wanda, all of it."
No, that was creepy.
That was a good scene. I think, as we said to begin with, this was the kind of catch-up episode that we all needed to get not just the audience on the same page, but the people outside of Wanda's little bubble caught up as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because definitely, Darcy, she was all the way through it. Isn't that guy dead?
Yeah. Wasn't he dead?
And she was caught up in it like it was a soap opera too. That was what was funny when they had when the children were born, and before all the stuff started happening with Monica. She was sitting there. Oh, look, they had baby.
She was invested.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she totally got invested in that. Leah was all my children or some garbage.
Oh yeah.
She's like, what? This is good.
I love her character.
Me too. It was great to see her in this, and she's just as funny and endearing as in the Thor films in this. Yeah. And it's nice to see her kind of just be the character rather than be like a background or side character.
Mm-hmm.
It was so funny the way it started when they were all in the back of the truck, and she said something, and that one guy said, "We're not supposed to talk about it," and then everybody started naming off what their profession was, and then it comes back around to him and he says, "I'm with so and so." She said, "Who cares?"
Didn't she make a comment? I don't know. This is not verbatim, but like, if Sword's asking us for help, the world must be in real bad trouble or something like that.
Yeah. We're in really big trouble. Yup. Hey, NB Geek.
Hey, NB Geek. It says, I like Darcy so much more than Jane, and she's way hotter, in my opinion. I agree. She's a much more interesting character.
And Ren Zero agrees. Kat Denning is way hotter than Natalie Portman for sure. Yep, I have to agree too. I love Kat Denning.
I just like that she's quirky. It's the quirkiness of her character.
Yes.
She's the smart airhead is what I mean. She plays it to a T. The one that's way too smart for her own good is what it's probably going to end up getting her in trouble eventually. Like it did.
Probably. Well, you did in Dark World. She's like, I think we're getting arrested. Just saying. I love that character. I'm so glad. I hope they keep her for the rest of the series.
Oh yeah. Well, there's the
Me too. I'd love to be that kind of
limited series.
Anchor.
Yes. I mean, we're at episode 4. We've got.
Yeah, I think we've got. 5
is
more.
Is it
9 episodes?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5 more episodes left.
Okay. And DJ B2 says Kat seems to have more zip than Natalie. Yeah.
Well, she got way more sass, that's for sure.
Oh, she is sassy as hell. I love her.
I really liked Agent Wu as well. We got to see a little bit more of him. And I found him a really endearing character as well, especially when I think somebody even mentioned it when they're sitting and eating crisps, just watching Wanda, watching this show. Yeah. I thought that was such a sweet scene.
Yeah, she offers him the potato chips, and he thought it was something different. And then, the chips.
Oh, yeah, the chips. Yeah.
And it was kind of cool to see the scene where they managed to contact Wanda through the radio and see how that was actually done.
Oh, yeah. That was really cool.
That was cool. And they thought that, you know, it was a failed mission when they did get through, and obviously Wanda just blows up the radio.
Well, the thing about it is every time they actually impacted her existence or her reality, she would change it, and they wouldn't be able to see it. And that, you know, that was kind of really what was going on. I mean, every time she did a reset, it just blipped on the screen. It went from one scene to another and skipped all the part in the middle. It just,
like the different ending that we got to see instead of the original ending as the viewer on the inside as the viewer on the inside of the regular the first 3 episodes. Now we're getting to see the view on the outside looking in now to see what actually happened, which made that even more interesting. I have to agree with you on that, Dave Bob, because it shedded a lot of light on how Wanda was handling things when it flipped back to that original ending and changed it up a little bit.
I'm reading Pat S's comment here. If you ask me, they should give someone $20 million and have them make 6 to 10 episodes of lesser known but cool Marvel characters like Julia Carpenter or Strong Guy or Kazar. Those are characters I am not familiar with, obviously. So
but yeah, those are some secondary characters that you unless you read certain comic books, you never know. Mostly X-Men.
Okay. Ah, okay.
Strong Guy's Guido. That was Lila Chan. I think it's Lila Chaney's bodyguard who was an X Factor, and Kazar is the equivalent of Tarzan from the what is that place that he was in where the High Evolutionary was? I forgot what the name of the place was. Dave Bob, help me.
Yes, I can't remember. I remember the character because I remember the saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah.
Never got too invested in that world.
And Julia Carpenter, no idea who she is.
Yeah,
no,
I have no clue who that is.
Hades brings up a good point, though. With this episode, you could see where the money went on the budget. The production value was so high on this episode. Not that it wasn't in previous ones, but you could actually see it in this one. With the huge set pieces, all the extras that they were using. Whereas before, we've had such a little cast.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been centralized, and now we've got it spread out.
You got a whole daggum army barrack base set up right outside of there. I mean, all the buildings and tents and whatnot.
And
let's see, Spike and Mischief, NB Geek, and Pat S. I'll say it was called Savage Land.
That's it.
Thank you, guys.
That's what it is.
Thank you, guys.
The Savage Land, Kazar or Kazar.
Yeah. However you say it, I don't know, because that's all new to me. I'm the market.
You might like it. It's a pretty cool character, but
okay.
As Paris was saying,
didn't they have dinosaurs in the Savage Land? If I remember
right?
They
did. Yeah.
That's where all the mutates came from, or most of the mutates came from, was the Savage Land.
Yeah.
Wasn't that where we got Dragon Man from, if I remember correctly?
Or I don't know if he was from there. I'm pretty sure he was, like pterodactyl and all the experiments. All the experiments that the High Evolutionary did, because that's where most of those came from. Which is a good read if you get around to it.
Oh, thank you, Padas. They said
thank you, Padas.
Julie became like Spider-Woman, then she became Arachne, the Madam Web. Thank you.
Okay.
More stuff I just don't know.
So you go into a deep dive with this.
Yeah, you really can. Oh my God, we're going to areas of the MCU and whatnot I'm not even aware of.
What did you guys think happened to the guy that got sent through in the storm drains? Underneath.
The beekeeper.
The beekeeper.
The beekeeper. Do you think he just got blipped out of existence, or do you think because we don't see what she does to him? She just says no. Whereas Monica Rambeau, she flings back out. We're not quite sure what happened to him.
I think he just disappeared because on the outside, they're wondering, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? And it was, I think people on the outside were kind of freaked out about it too. And I also like the way that anything that was sent in, like the little drone, it turned into that retro looking helicopter and all of that.
Yes.
She kind of changed all that stuff up as it went along.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the helicopter thing flipped me out a little bit. I'm like, oh, so Monica's a drone specialist. Yes, and that's what that helicopter was supposed to be, was a sword drone.
Yeah, that particular drone was in Captain Marvel colors.
Oh, I did not realize that.
When it was sent through.
I didn't either.
When we see it later, it's in the red and gold colors of Iron Man. Red and yellow, yeah.
Yep.
Huh. I didn't notice that. I'm going to go back and watch it again.
I think it's just a little nod to the character. I don't think it's anything important.
Yeah,
I think it's just
more Easter eggs than anything.
Yeah. NB Geek, what does he say?
He says, I think Wanda's having a breakdown. This is where her mind put her. I think so. I think you're right. I think we saw her anger in Endgame as to what happened, but we haven't seen the aftermath. We haven't seen the sadness. We haven't seen the despair of losing Vision.
Mm-hmm.
And we know he's gone. Whatever this Vision is that we have at the moment, it's not Vision.
Nope.
We had that very brief scene in this episode where he's got the stone ripped out of his head and he's grey and his eyes are all whited out.
Well, Wanda is just back just like all the other ones. She was gone for 5 years and she comes back and it's, Vision's been gone now for 5 years and and everything, and that's what causes her mental break.
That and losing her children if they go that way. That's
Oh God.
Yeah. That really caused her to snap in the comic books.
Yeah.
When she lost her children the first time.
Yeah, whenever Mephisto's took back all parts of his consciousness or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I remember you guys telling us about that last week.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. It's gonna get dark. It's gonna get dark really quick when it happens too.
Oh boy. I'm looking forward to that, but not looking forward to that.
And that may
do they have enough time to do it?
Oh yeah, they've got plenty of time to do it. They could do it. I mean, they've jumped 3 decades in 3 episodes. I mean,
True.
They started in the 50s and they were at the tail end of the 70s when the episode ended, or in the mid 70s. So who's this? I mean, it can be done. It can easily be done.
Yeah, and I would imagine as the series goes on now, we're going to have an episode centric of Wanda where we're in a new decade, and then we're going to go back to the real world and back and forth until we get to, whatever the series culminates at.
Yeah.
Which I'm sad because
they've just gone.
Go ahead, Purple. I'm sorry. Again.
Sorry. I was just going to say, because if they just kept with, the sitcom formula, we would have run out after 5 episodes because they're jumping forward a decade each time.
That's a good point, an excellent point. And I'm just sad that my theory's kind of blown right now until we get Doctor Strange, because something tells me there's more than one villain, more than one major villain playing a role in this that we haven't seen yet.
Okay. Which ones?
I still think Mojo's got a tie to it. That's how the X-Men are going to be brought. Part of the reason why the X-Men are going to be brought in, because the Wild Ways are. It's a long story, and you'd have to read about the Wild Ways and read about Mojo to understand what's going on.
Okay.
Plus, it ties into the television series, because he's all about TV production. He's all about ratings, but that's not what this is about. So that theory was kind of blown. That's why I'm following the same consensus as everybody else that Mephisto is going to be the reason what's going on, what's going to eventually happen.
Okay. Yeah, because my feeling is Mephisto, but I don't know. And I didn't know anything about Mojo, Mark, until you mentioned Mojo. So I was just like, oh, that's a thing too? Holy shit.
Mojo is the ultimate corporate insider. I mean, big budget Hollywood TV producer type guy. All he's for is ratings. I mean, it's just like things ratings.
I think Lord Thoth says, I think Tyler Hayward is a bad guy. He's not a comic character. And now the director of Sword, suspicious. Yeah, that's what Generalissimo Mohefe was talking about earlier. He's got a feeling of sinister feelings from that guy. So you guys might be onto something.
And it's interesting that we're seeing a lot from Sword, but nothing from S.H.I.E.L.D. yet.
Does S.H.I.E.L.D. even still exist?
Well, it technically does.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure after the whole
not
destruction.
As big as they were.
Right. Okay. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Spike and Mischief.
It would be awesome if it was Mojo.
It would be. I would like to see this character, but if it's Mephisto, I'm totally down with that too.
Another thing that they did, I mean, I know it wasn't mentioned because we switched back to modern times, and going with the Hydra theme. Could Tyler be one of Fenris and that, I forget what her name is, the blonde-headed woman that was in control of everything in the town? If she's one of the Fenris twins and he's one of the Fenris twins.
Oh. Yeah. So, well, I think we can probably agree that Dottie isn't who she appears to be. And
there's several people in that town are not... I think they know who they are. They're just hiding because look what happened to Monica when she got thrown out, and they're wanting a piece of the action as well. They're trying to control. That's what they're trying to do.
I did like that scene when she threw her out. I mean, before, she just disappeared, but this time she goes busting through walls and everything else, getting out of there. It's a wonder she was alive after getting slammed through all that crap.
Yeah, my God. She was in bad shape, though.
Yeah, I like the way on the outside world when they were looking at, did she just say something about Ultron?
Yes.
No.
And I did like that they're starting to find out who these characters are as well. So, like Mr. and Mrs. Hart, they actually found out who their quote-unquote real names are, and they're putting them all up on the board. So I'm wondering, are these people that Wanda has pulled in? Because they're obviously real people if they've got a background.
Yeah, that or else they were just part of the town. But I think some of them may have been townspeople, but I think she pulled them in from pretty much all over, maybe.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't think there was a town, because that's what they were saying at the beginning of the episode. There isn't supposed to be a west. It was just an east.
And that would explain why they can see everything and the regular people can't, like the police.
Yeah,
because they are conditioned to see things that others can't. I mean, they are both agents, one being quote unquote an FBI agent and the other one an agent of Sword. But I mean, Wu wasn't he part of S.H.I.E.L.D. before he was an FBI agent, or was he not?
I think he was just FBI.
I think he was always been FBI, but I think he may have been assigned with S.H.I.E.L.D. or some of the agents.
Well, that explains probably why he can see it and knows what's going on, because they're the only two right now that even know that town exists, that nobody else can see it but them.
Until they bring in all that support staff.
Yeah, and then they all see it, but it's just I don't know. It's more of those little bitty Easter eggs, or it could be a red herring. Who knows? Okay.
Lord Thoth says Jimmy is always FBI. Okay,
cool.
Thank you.
Like bureau liaison to S.H.I.E.L.D. or something like that.
I probably need to watch the episode again, but did we find out who the missing person was that they were sent in for to begin with? Because when Monica Rambeau gets first brought on the assignment, they say it's a missing person, but I don't remember.
It was somebody that was supposed to be in witness protection, and nobody remembered who he was, not even his relatives or anybody else. So apparently Wanda's powers are affecting people all over the country or the world in general, because, other than, the actual relatives of the people and close associates of the person that was in witness protection that went missing didn't even know who he was, couldn't remember who he was.
Well, like you pointed out earlier too, Dave Bob, when she was projecting through the TVs what she wanted people to see as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. It's global instead of local.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. JPRPH1 has a point. Is it strange that Monica's clothes that were part of Wanda's reality remained real when she was thrown out? What other manifestations of Wanda's are real now? That's a good question.
Well, when they pulled back the cable that was attached to the guy that became the beekeeper, that changed the last few yards of that. So it was a cable up until a point, and then it was those interlinking kind of plastic blocks.
It was a jump rope.
Like a jump rope, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Some strange looking kid's toy or something.
Yeah, something like that. Or, like a pool divider, where you divide off the deep end or whatever. Something like that.
Yeah.
So
it was really weird.
Anything that goes through the barrier and then comes back out is kind of altered in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd imagine if they got the drones back, they would be altered to look and remain the same as they do in Wanda's reality, rather than how they looked when they first went in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another good point there.
And Spike and Mischief says everything that gets changed stays changed. Yeah, and Jester of Sin.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, babe.
Jester of Sin, it seems to me more like Wanda has enchanted all of the surrounding area. Those from the outside were less affected, as Monica was one of those Thanos. She was more immune. That's a good theory also.
That's a good theory. Yeah.
Another thing that when she threw her through the walls, she used her full power. She actually manifested her power when before she threw it. She hasn't done. I think she's barely done it once, but she went full Scarlet Witch where she was manifesting her using her magical aspect of her mutant ability.
Yeah.
So,
she did the hand motions and the red mist,
red glowy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time you really saw that, other than, when she had little hiccups, you'd see little spurts of it, but
yeah,
that was about it. Like when she was trying to get rid of the stork and whatnot.
Yeah, that was funny. And nothing's happening.
Just poof. Cut in pieces. And
I thought it was just that old stork could just kind of snort, just walk through it and flap arms.
Yeah.
Flap his wings, flap his arms. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
We got another snort.
3.
Yep, it is chaos magic. That's always been her power.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
Of course,
sorry.
In the comics, she was her and Pietro were Magneto's kids, and in this reality, they were basically, I guess, made by Von Strucker somehow or another through experimentation.
Yeah, some sort of gene splicing or something happened.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Von Strucker just freaked me out.
Did you
Actually,
guys?
I think we're supposed to get the. I keep hearing rumors that we're going to be getting the Pietro from the X-Men side instead of her brother from this one. So there must be some kind of different universes or whatnot going to be coming in on this, because it keeps coming up, and usually when something like that keeps coming up, there's something behind it.
Yeah. I think we talked about that rumor briefly last week too, where they were going to use Evan Peters as Pietro, which honestly, I like that Quicksilver better.
Oh yeah, he's a lot quicker.
He's a lot more fun.
Loved his goggles.
Oh, those were epic, weren't they?
Did you guys catch right at the end when she kind of reestablishes her reality, and her and Vision sit down with the babies on the sofa? Vision's face, he's like almost blank, like he doesn't want anything to do with this, but he's compelled to do it. Like he knows that this situation is wrong, and she's almost kind of losing control of this as well now.
Oh yeah. But I'm wondering now that that's a great point. But the missing person, could he be Vision that she's using as a template? Because the original Vision, his mind was a set of Simon Williams, Wonder Man, and could she have abducted him, and they're going to introduce him, but he was never truly the Vision, but his mind was used to build Vision's in the comic book. His mind was a template for Vision's brain.
So she needed like something to build upon.
Template.
Yep.
Okay.
That is a good idea.
So that thought just occurred to me. I was like, maybe she yanked maybe she did yank Wonder Man through before he knew he was Wonder Man, which would have been weird, but who knows? I mean, this is the MCU compared to the comic books. So it's gonna be relatively the same, but changed a lot, changed to fit the narrative of now too. So
okay. They're definitely cherry picking bits from the comics. I mean, it's nice to see the kind of callbacks and nods to comic books and stories that have gone on in the past, but it is a little bit muddled when it comes to being brought into the MCU.
I think they're doing a better job than I hate to bring up the other beast that Disney owns, but they're doing a better job than they did with Star Wars, starting to cherry pick the EU. It's I think Kevin Feige actually had a point to point where he was wanting to go with it, and bringing in Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni in to rescue the Star Wars universe has been basically a hard reset. And he's had more to work with than Filoni and Feige have, and it's starting to show. It actually shows because the quality of the story and the fans are instantly on it, eating it up.
Yes.
Colin P., that's a good point. I think Vision is a creation of Wanda's grief, but is also somehow at least partially independent. I have to agree.
Oh, yeah.
Because if he's sitting there, like at the end of the episode with that look on his face, like this is just not right.
Yeah. Well, you can tell that he was realizing that something wasn't kosher.
In the last episode, yeah, because he's like, Wanda.
Well, it all started outside talking to Agnes and Herb is where that started at.
Yes. And he knows that Wanda's not telling the truth, because he says to her, what happened to Geraldine? And she was like, oh, she had to run home, honey. Well, he'd just been told that she has no home.
But how do they all have homes? And the more you think about it, the weirder it gets, and you dive, like you said, deeper into it. You're like, huh?
Yes. Speaking of weird, I did notice something kind of weird written on the whiteboard when they were kind of jotting down theories. The scrolls were mentioned.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
See, I missed
And
something.
I've watched it twice.
What part
I
was
need
that
to go
on
back
purpose?
and watch it a third time.
It was on the outside when they were writing down theories about what was going on the inside.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll have to go back and watch that then. I guess I'll be doing that after the show's over with.
Once more with feeling, y'all.
Third time's always the was it the third time's
Third
always
time's the charm. Yeah.
But
So Lord Thoth, this could also be that she is the villain here and is suffering a psychotic break, which opens up full use of her powers because she has no mental blocks now.
that's another good
theory. She's definitely not the good guy. Not after what she did to Monica.
No.
Yeah, and somebody in the chat also said she's like an Omega level mutant.
Oh yeah, she's one of the most powerful beings in the galaxy.
Besides Phoenix, I thought Phoenix was also an Omega level mutant.
I want to say she's one of the 12, if I'm not the 12 that Mr. Sinister was trying to part of his genetic experiments from the X-Men. I might be wrong, but there were supposed to be 12 powerful mutants, and they revealed I think they eventually revealed who they all were.
Okay.
And I think she may have been one of them.
Oof. Oh, this is going to get weird. There's so many connections here.
This is all just from the comic books.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. This is so crazy. I have so much reading to do.
You've probably got about 30 years of reading to do just to
Oh my God, Mark.
And crossing over titles, you're looking at going to a comic book shop and say, hey, can I rent the store and just read?
Samantha Joe needs the Cliff Notes.
I need the breakdown.
I'll get you the condensed version. It was even interesting, the song that was chosen for the end credits, which is Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Which it's all about creating your own island and stealing time and things like that. So
I'm going to tell you what.
That was a little bit on the nose.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Tell you what, the MCU and Disney in general, their music is always spot on. I don't care what it is, Star Wars or whatever. Their music is always spot on. I mean, I love the way they use those old songs like that. I mean, it just invokes something in you, just kind of emotions just come welling up when you hear that music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, they're good at that.
Wasn't Daydream Believer the last song that closed the last episode? Which makes perfect sense. That makes absolute perfect sense now with everything you saw in this episode. I mean, it was like, whoa.
Oh my God, you guys, we have reached the hour point already. Holy shit.
And did we
have we even talked fully about the episode? Oh my God.
No, we've danced all around it. Yeah. No, we've hit all the high points.
Yeah, I don't think we missed anything major, except the Purple Caught 2 that we didn't catch. Thank you.
Well, usually she's on it more than me, so
I only watched it half an hour before we went live, so I watched it again just before. I was like, I'm gonna make some notes.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, you made notes. Now I've got to go back and see what you made notes about and see if I can catch something else that we all missed. So,
well, the good thing about this episode was, like I said at the beginning, it just brought everything into focus. It explained so much.
Mm-hmm.
And, everybody was speculating beforehand, about what was going on. Now you at least have a better grip on the way things are going.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. Everyone, including the audience and the characters, are now on the same page, so we can all move forward at the same time. So whether or not it will jump back to the sitcom format for the next episode with just a little bit of the real world, or whether it would be more of the real world and a little bit of the sitcom. It'd be interesting to see how they balance it now that going forward.
My favorite part of it's been, and besides the show itself, it's been great. It's the aspect of you being the audience member in two different realities, and you get the complete feel of it on both sides. And to add what Dave Bob said, did they, as much as they answered, how many questions did they pose after that episode was over with?
Yeah,
because a few things have been answered, but a lot hasn't been answered.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I love what if. This is just one big what if, and I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
I just love how much fun people are having with this series.
Oh yeah.
And it's giving me high hopes for upcoming Marvel TV series as well. If this has been so good,
I just
please.
have a feeling that Loki's going to let us down. Not y'all's boss Loki, but Loki.
Yeah, we know.
He doesn't let anybody down. He's cool.
No, boss is good.
No,
this show is definitely one of the higher rated shows out there right now for me. This episode was a good solid 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a 9. I really love this episode, and I'm gonna probably go back and watch it another couple of times to see exactly what we've missed, because I know the stuff that we haven't picked up on.
Yeah, I would give it I'm gonna raise mine up a little bit from last week and say it's an 8.3 because it's on par with all the episodes. But again, to reiterate what Dave Bob said, you got your answers, and you're happy with your answers, but it keeps you wanting more.
Right.
The time that they put on the episodes, the 30-minute episodes, is a perfect timing. Anything longer, and I don't think this would work. I think it would just I think it would bog down if they made the episodes any longer.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, half hour is perfect.
It's like watching a comic book is basically what it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I mean,
yeah.
The MCU movies were like watching an annual. This is like watching a regular comic book.
I like that analogy.
That's a good one. Yeah.
What about you, Han? What would you give it?
I was leaning more towards 9 for this one for me. It kept me engaged, but it did suck a little bit in that it was only 30 minutes. It's like, I don't want to read the comic book. I want to see the whole story. So
that's what's good about comic books, Samantha Jo, is that it draws you in, keeps you in, and you have to wait through a month for the next or 3 weeks for the next issue. And that's
which is like
that's what this is. It's keeping you going. It's drawing you in further and further.
Yep.
Which is a good thing.
Ren Zero, thank you for the £2 super chats. Thank you for the stream. A pleasure as always. You are welcome, Ren Zero.
Thank you, sweetheart. We appreciate you. That's very kind of you. And thank you for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, boys. Can't wait till next Sunday. Ren Zero has it a 9 for him as well. So
yeah, we've got high marks in the chat. We've got Justice to Depp gave it a 10. Lord Froth, it's giving it this one an 8. We've got 9s. So I think the series is just getting stronger.
If Luke Skywalker shows up, I'll give it a 10.
That's the only 10 I've given so far this year. You know I'm a pretty hard critic.
Oh yeah, you're a rough go there, Dave Bob.
I have a feeling.
It takes a lot.
I do have a feeling we're going to get a 10 moment in this. I do. I think it's coming.
It's coming. Yeah, for sure. I believe you. Oh, definitely. All right, everybody. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. This Sunday episode. So we will see you. Let's see. What do we have going on? We've got tomorrow morning show. We're going to catch up on news and whatnot. So if you guys have any news, let us know. Pass it along.
Yep. Wednesday will be The Expanse, which is the final episode, unfortunately.
Yeah. Next thing you know, it's going to be The Expanse wrap up.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and watch them finally.
Well, All of them, Mark?
All of them, Mark, from the first season?
Yep, I'm gonna binge watch them all. I did it.
Ooh.
I did it with this. Well, back 3 years ago with the CW stuff when it was still halfway decent. I can do it.
Oh my God!
I'm
Good
gonna
luck.
tell you what, that's gonna be 5 whole seasons. That's a lot of TV there.
Day Bob, you don't know me well.
I can't sit down and watch TV for more than a couple hours anymore.
Me neither. And I binged watched The Expanse. I binged the first 3 seasons, and I was just like, I couldn't stop. Jeff had to pry me away from the TV set, being like, "Honey, shut it off. You got to go to bed sometime."
Oh my gosh. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
me.
thank you very much.
Having
We'll
us.
do it again next Sunday.
Absolutely.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Sunday.
And, everybody stay tuned. Tomorrow we have another announcement. So
we do.
we'll announce that straight away first thing tomorrow morning. So be sure to tune in.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yep. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, guys.
Yep. And we will see you guys tomorrow on Loki show as well in the chat.
Yeah, we'll be there in the morning, bright and squirrely.
Have a great day, guys. Thank you everyone for
Bye,
joining
everybody.
us. Bye, guys.